Okay.
Okay, so this is a...
Let me just do a quick introduction. Hey everybody, we are here at the Ben Franklin Printing Office, that's what it's called. It's super cool. We have these printing presses that are, they're replicants from the 1700s, what they used to actually print. And this ranger here is going to show us how it works. It's part of homeschooling Draco, by the way, part of our road trip.
Hi, everybody.
Okay.
Hi from him. Okay.
Yes.
So these are reproductions of presses that Franklin would have been quite familiar with operating. Ben Franklin's printing offices don't exist anymore. And so the National Park Service has put reconstructions in this building. You have individual letters made from lead.
And here's an example right here. You can see here.
Yeah, they're individual, and you put them into a composition stick upside down. They're cast backwards. This does really end up as something you can read. And once you've completed a stick, you'd slide it out, and once you'd completed about 5 or 6 lines, you would definitely proofread, because there's no scroll screen feature, is there?
There's no backspace, delete.
So if you got 3/4 of the way down a page that was all text and found a mistake, you'd have to redo the whole thing.
Wow.
So you have to be really careful with it.
Okay, let's see how it works.
Yeah. Now, once you get all this type into a form over here, well, first off, you could have some ink, of course.
Yes.
And ink was linseed oil, tree sap, and soot is from a fireplace. And you beat some ink into the type.
Imagine this is way before computers, way before smartphones. It's the only way to get in printers.
Ben Franklin's active printing time would, for most kids today, say be about 9 to 10 parents ago.
Right.
So, and you need something. This wood mallet has wool on top, covered in leather. Lead is a fairly soft metal, and you need thereby something with the physics that would now be best known as a boxing glove to get the ink on so it doesn't crack the type.
Okay. Yeah, the letters are lead. We weren't allowed to touch them because they're lead.
There. Now, paper was linen.
Yeah, so the paper is really thick. I wasn't allowed to touch it, so I don't know. But check this out.
It's flax that had either been spun to linen paper and or old linen clothing that had been beat to a pulp.
My goodness.
In either case, we're dyeing cloth here, and there's a barrel of water down at the end of the room. We purposely moisten the paper to get the pores open so the ink goes into it.
Cool. Yeah, check out those letters.
There we go. And then we put the paper up here so it holds tight. And the trick is just to get it centered. Then fold this over. This is needed so when you print, you don't end up with everything with a ribbon around the outside of it. Then fold this down. Crank everything up underneath this big piece of mahogany called a platen. Give the bar a pull. There's a screw in here. It goes down, and the platen goes down. Now, it doesn't go down much in terms of distance, but it has a lot of pressure to it, and it thereby will transfer the ink onto the paper.
That's so cool.
And ta-da! To use the phrase.
Look at that.
And
the printed word.
Yep. So right now we've got a couple quotes here in reference to Women's History Month, and then the smaller type quote is a letter from George Washington to Ben Franklin, basically thanking him for his service.
Yeah. So cool.
Now what we have here is a moist piece of paper with wet ink on it.
Because back then the ink didn't dry very quickly. I mean, now you
About an hour and a half if it's a dry day.
Amazing.
But we have to get it to dry, don't we? So,
how do we get it to
for
dry?
the ceiling, we have racks, and we take one of these printer's peels and hang it up to dry, and then whomever opens tomorrow just comes along and take them back down again.
And there they are.
There we go.
Yeah. Thank you so much
You're
for that
welcome.
demonstration.
Do that all the time.
Just thought you guys might enjoy that. This is
Since I've been working around this park for a while.
yeah. No, there's so many amazing park rangers here who know so much about history. This is great for homeschooling Draco. Draco, do you think it's pretty cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. You got your. Oh, somebody said you weren't done. Was there anything else that you wanted to tell them? I want to make sure
That's enough for a quick intro. Dare I use some crack about you ask a park ranger, is there anything else to tell us? Look out.
Right.
I will now explicate in the entire history of... One kind of interesting thing, though, this brick wall over here that was behind where I was standing is the oldest brick wall in this national park.
Really? And how old is it?
1728.
1728.
So it predates the beginning of Independence Hall by 4 years.
Yeah, wow.
What happened is that Ben Franklin purchased everything around this site. The people in here would never sell out to him, and nothing they did had a thing to do with what's become a big theme of this national park site. Wig making, baking, whatever. And so, since Ben Franklin's printing offices do not exist, the Park Service decided to put the reproduction printing presses in here. A noted advantage, we can print on them. So
Nice.
that's pretty neat.
That's awesome.
And
This is
so that's a
great.
little bit
This is
about
great.
it.
Yeah. No, there is so much. I'm just hoping that my son Draco absorbs a little bit of it, you know,
That's
here and
fine.
there, and we'll come back again at some point, I'm sure, when he gets a little older. But thank you so much for watching the Danicam. This is part of homeschooling. I wanted to share it with all of you. One more look at this printing press. Get the camera to switch. Hang on, where is it? Why isn't it switching? Here, I'll just do that. So there you go. In fact, maybe I should, oops. I can light it up so you guys can see the letters. How cool is that? This old printing press, replicated just like the ones in the 1700s that were used right here before we had computers. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon, very soon again on the Danicam. If you enjoyed it, please share so people can catch the replay, because some people like being educated like this. Yes? Bye.